MONAD is a layer 1 blockchain, meaning that it is built from the ground up with its own validators, not on any other network. It is also built purposely to achieve extreme speed, as well as give us some important development advantages, especially if you're an Ethereum developer. Now, when we look at the cryptocurrency for MONAD, it's going to be known as the MON, M-O-N, and as we might imagine from a modern blockchain, it's going to be very good at supporting smart contracts, as well as the ability to do development and to create those dApps that make networks so valuable these days. So why MONAD? Why would we want a new layer 1 network in this modern era where we already have quite a few layer 1 networks, including things like, of course, Bitcoin, but also Ethereum and Solana, which are dominating the market? Well, there's a lot of reasons why we're highly anticipating MONAD. And the first reason is the extreme level of speed that it brings. And when we say extreme, we mean extreme. We are talking about a very, very fast network. So for perspective, if we think about Bitcoin here, Bitcoin's kind of like the snail these days. We get about 10 transactions per second, and that has to do with the size of the blocks as well as the fact that we only get a block every 10 minutes. Whereas when we look at somebody who's maybe walking a little bit faster here, maybe even running, well, that is a good representation of Ethereum, which clocks in around 20 transactions per second. And then we might look at Solana. Solana is like a car. It's going way faster than either of those. It's able to do 1,000 transactions per second, which is maybe what we would have called extreme speed. And yet now we have MONAD. And MONAD is, by comparison, like a jet just zipping along because it's going to launch supporting 10,000 transactions per second. And while networks such as Solana are trying to increase and get to 10,000 by making changes to the way the protocol functions, MONAD is launching at 10,000 transactions per second. Now, it's not just speed that gives MONAD its edge. There's a few other facets to this that we'd want to consider. For example, the fact that we can rely on fast confirmation. We want blocks to be confirmed as quickly as possible. It's not just how fast we can process blocks, but how quickly we know that our transactions have been confirmed. We have block times of 400 milliseconds on the MONAD network, meaning every 400 milliseconds a new block is formed, which, by the way, is exactly what Solana is every 400 milliseconds. The difference is that confirmation actually happens after just 2 of these blocks, which means we only have to wait 800 milliseconds to reach finality. Whereas with Solana, we're talking about 12.8 seconds because it requires 32 blocks to reach finality. So we reach finality way faster with MONAD. MONAD also supports very scalable decentralization. In fact, decentralization is a big part of what MONAD is trying to accomplish. And one of the ways it does this is it reduces the cost of running a node. A lot of nodes, especially in these networks, can be very expensive to run. And so the decentralization of those networks is always a threat because only those who have been doing it for a long time can really afford to spin up a node. But if anybody in the world can spin up a node and join the network, then our decentralization goals are going to be achieved. And the more decentralized a network is, the more secure that network is. Now, last and not least, we want to talk about that development, the fact that we can code, and this is especially relevant for Ethereum engineers. The reality is that Ethereum is very, very slow. And yet, there are a lot of developers who have developed on the Ethereum virtual machine or EVM space. Solana tried to solve this by creating a new type of virtual machine, the Solana virtual machine, but there's still a whole lot of developers trying to code on EVM, and at 20 transactions per second, that can be very painful. A big part of what MONAD was developed to do was to bring in these EVM developers and give them a new network to keep doing exactly what they've been doing. MONAD is 100% EVM compatible. What this means is that if we've been developing dApps on Ethereum, that we can keep doing exactly what we've been doing, but now do it on a much faster network, which is MONAD. So this is why the industry is so excited about MONAD. Keep an eye on our channel and on our social tags to see more content that explains how MONAD works. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and always remember to stake at the lake.